You are a cargo pilot. Your life is measured in fuel consumption and shipping manifests. The cockpit of the Stardust Drifter is your home. It smells of recycled air and old coffee. Your routes take you through the quiet, controlled space of the Vexel hegemony. The aliens run the galaxy like a clean, efficient corporation. Humanity is a workforce, a resource to be managed. You keep your head down. You haul your cargo. You get paid. The Vexel are everywhere and nowhere. Their sleek patrol ships glide past your viewport. Their automated custom stations scan your hold without a single word. They are a presence, an immense, silent pressure on everything. You learned long ago not to think about it too much. Thinking leads to trouble. Trouble leads to attention. And Vexol attention is never a good thing. So you focus on the little things. The hum of the engines is your constant companion. The star charts on your main screen are your only map. You know the asteroid fields of the outer rim better than your own face. You can plot a course through a gravity well in your sleep. It is a simple life. It is a quiet life. And for a long time, that was enough. This run is no different. You are hauling raw silicates from the mining moon of Cygnus X1. The destination is a processing hub near Aurora's edge. Just another long haul. Your ship is not much to look at. The Stardust Drifter is an old freighter. Its hull is scarred by micrometeoroids. Its landing gear groans in protest every time you touch down. But its engines are solid. The nav computer is reliable, mostly. And you know its every secret. Its every groan and shudder is a language you understand. You are one pilot in a galaxy of trillions. You are insignificant. And that is how you stay safe. You dock at the Cygnus mining station. It is a grim place. A metal cage clinging to a lump of rock. The station is a maze of dark, narrow corridors. The air tastes of grit and machine oil. You see the faces of the human miners. They are tired and worn down. Their eyes hold a familiar emptiness. It is the look of people who have forgotten what it is to be free. You try not to look too closely. You are just here to pick up your cargo. You are heading to the station master's office. You need your manifest signed. As you round a corner, you see it. A Vexol overseer stands before a human miner. The Vexel is a tower of polished gray armor and sharp angles. It holds an energy baton that hums with quiet power. The miner is an old man. He had accidentally spilled a nutrient paste container. A small puddle of gray goo stains the metal floor. The overseer watches the puddle for a long moment. The silence is heavy, absolute. Then the Vexel moves. It is not a violent rage. It is a cold, deliberate action. The energy baton strikes the miner's legs. There is a sickening crack. The man collapses without a sound. The overseer prods him once with the baton. It then turns and glides away. No words were spoken. No anger was shown. It was like correcting a faulty machine. You stand frozen in the shadows of the corridor. Something inside you breaks. The quiet acceptance you have cultivated for years, it shatters. This was not justice. This was not order. It was cruelty for its own sake. A display of power meant to grind down the human spirit. For the first time in a long time, you feel something other than apathy. You feel a hot, sharp spark of defiance, a spark that feels dangerously like rage. You have seen the steel fist of the hegemony, and you can no longer pretend it wears a velvet glove. You force yourself to move. You cannot help the fallen miner. Drawing attention would only make things worse for everyone. You retreat into a side passage. Your heart hammers against your ribs. Your mind replays the cold, casual brutality. It is one thing to know you are ruled. It is another to see the price of that rule written in a man's broken bones. You lean against a cold metal wall. You try to steady your breathing. That is when a weak hand grabs your arm. It is the old miner. He has dragged himself into the shadows. His face is pale with pain. His breathing is a ragged, wet sound. He looks at you with desperate eyes. He knows he's not going to make it. Vexol medicine is for the Vexol. He presses something flat and cold into your hand. It is a data slate, thicker and heavier than a standard civilian model. They can't have this, the miner rasps. His voice is barely a whisper. He clutches your jacket. His grip is surprisingly strong. Aurora. Purge, he chokes out. Don't let them. Erase us. His eyes lose their focus. His hand falls away. He slumps to the floor and is still. You stand there in the dim light. The miner's last words echo in your mind. Aurora Purge. The data slate feels like a block of ice in your hand. You know what this is? This is the kind of secret that gets people killed. Not just one person, but everyone they have ever known. Your first instinct is to drop it, to run, to get back to your ship and disappear into the void. Pretend this never happened. But you cannot. The image of the overseer, the sound of the breaking bone, the old man's desperate plea, they are burned into your memory. You look down at the slate. It is your problem now. The truth is in your hands, a truth that could start a fire or get you extinguished like a dying star. Suddenly, a station-wide alarm blares, a sharp, piercing siren that grates on the nerves. Red lights flash down the corridor. A synthesized Vexol voice echoes from the speakers. It speaks in its own clicking language, but the meaning is universal. Lockdown, security sweep. They know the slate is gone. They know someone has it. And they are shutting down the station to find it. You are trapped. Your blood runs cold. They will search everyone. They will scan everything. They will find the slate. Your quiet life is over. You have seconds to decide. Surrender it, or run. The miner's face flashes in your mind. Don't let them erase us. You shove the heavy slate into a hidden compartment inside your jacket. It is a desperate gamble. Now you have to get back to the Stardust Drifter. You have to get off this station. You move quickly, sticking to the maintenance corridors you know so well. The station is in chaos. Miners are being herded into containment zones by robotic enforcers. You hear the heavy thud of Vexol boots. They are moving in systematic patterns, sweeping every level. You slip through a service hatch. You drop into a dark ventilation shaft. The air is thick with dust. You crawl on your hands and knees. The blare of the alarm is muffled here, but the danger feels closer than ever. You reach the docking bay. Your ship is right there. A familiar, ugly shape that has never looked so beautiful. But the bay is not empty. 2 Vexol guards stand at the base of your ramp. They hold long, threatening rifles. You are out of options. You cannot fight them. You cannot talk your way past them. You need a distraction, a big one. Your eyes scan the bay. You see the massive loading claws used to move cargo containers. An idea, a stupid, reckless idea, forms in your mind. You find a stray power conduit. You wrench it free from the wall. Sparks fly. You jam the live end into the control panel for the loading claw. The system shrieks. The massive metal arm lurches to life. It swings wildly across the docking bay. It smashes into a stack of containers. Metal screams and crashes. The 2 guards are startled. They turn their attention to the mechanical chaos. It is the only chance you will get. You sprint from the shadows, up the ramp and into your ship. You slam the airlock shut. You do not even strap in. You lunge for the controls, powering up the engines. The ship shudders to life. A Vexal voice crackles over the comm. It is a demand to power down, to submit to inspection. You ignore it. You fire the vertical thrusters. The Stardust Drifter lifts off the landing pad with a groan. The Vexal guards are now firing at your ship. Bright energy bolts sizzle against your shields. Warning shots. They will not be warnings for long. You push the throttle to maximum. Your old ship complains loudly, but it responds. You blast out of the docking bay. The open void of space is right in front of you. But it is not empty. 3 Vexal patrol ships are moving to intercept you. Their weapons ports are glowing. You are a fat, slow cargo hauler. You are not a fighter. Your shields will not last long against military-grade weapons. You have to think fast. You yank the controls hard to the side, diving toward the moon's rocky surface. The patrol ships follow. They are faster and more agile. Laser fire streaks past your cockpit. You see your shield indicator dropping. 100%, 90, 80. You fly into a deep canyon. The rock walls are a blur on either side. You are using the terrain as cover. This is reckless flying. This is the kind of stunt that gets pilots killed. Right now, it is the only thing keeping you alive. The Vexal ships are still on your tail. They are good pilots. But you know this terrain. You have flown over it dozens of times on approach. You know a shortcut, a narrow, twisting lava tube, a passage that does not show up on their standard star charts. You pull the ship into a tight turn. You plunge into the darkness of the tube. Your ship scrapes against the sides. The sound is like tearing metal. But you make it through. You emerge on the other side of the mountain range. For a moment, you are clear. You punch the coordinates from the data slate into your nav computer. A destination appears. It is a place you have never heard of. A desolate sector near the Aurora Nebula. You engage the star drive. The universe outside your cockpit twists into a tunnel of blue light. You have escaped. For now. The jump through hyperspace is blessedly quiet. It gives you time to think. Time for the adrenaline to fade, leaving only a deep, chilling fear. You are a fugitive. The Vexal hegemony will be hunting you. They will have your ship's signature, your pilot registration. They will put a bounty on your head. There is no going back to your old life. That life is gone, wiped away by one act of defiance. You pull the data slate from your jacket. You run your hand over its smooth, cold surface. What secret does it hold that is worth all this? The Stardust Drifter drops out of hyperspace. The nebula known as Aurora's edge fills your viewport, a spectacular cloud of purple and gold gas. It is beautiful. And according to your charts, completely empty. The coordinates from the slate lead you to a dense asteroid field, a place most pilots would avoid. It is a graveyard of rock and ice. But the signal is clear. It is coming from somewhere inside this mess. You navigate carefully. Your sensors are on high alert. You are flying blind into a potential trap. The signal leads you to a single, massive asteroid. It is pitted and scarred. It looks like any other dead rock in the belt. But as you get closer, a section of the asteroid's surface slides away. It reveals a hidden hangar bay. Lights flicker on inside, revealing a docking port and armed figures in patched, worn spacesuits. These are not Vexal. These are humans. You have found it. The hidden heart of the rebellion. You guide your ship in. The bay doors close behind you, sealing you inside. Your ramp lowers with its familiar groan. The air in the hangar is thin but breathable. Armed soldiers surround your ship. Their weapons are a mix of stolen Vexal rifles and homemade gear. They look tough, wary. A woman steps forward. She has a stern face and graying hair pulled back in a tight bun. An officer's insignia is pinned to her worn jacket. This must be the leader. I am Commander Rostova, she says. Her voice is firm. You are not one of ours. State your name and purpose. You feel a dozen guns pointed at you. This is not the warm welcome you might have hoped for. My name is not important, you say. Your voice is steady. Surprisingly so. I was a cargo pilot. I was given this by a dying miner on Cygnus X1. You hold up the data slate. Rostova's eyes narrow. She does not move to take it. How do we know you are not a Vexel spy? She asks. This could be a Trojan horse, a way to find our location. She is not wrong to be suspicious. A spy would fly a sleeker ship, you say, gesturing to your dented freighter, and probably wouldn't have 3 Vexel patrol ships shooting at them. A few of the soldiers chuckle at that. A little bit of the tension eases. Rostova remains unmoved. We tracked your escape. You got lucky, she says. Luck is not a currency we trade in here. We trade in trust, and you have not earned ours. You have to prove yourself. You have to show them you are on their side. I'm a pilot, you state simply. I have a ship. You look like you could use both. Rostova considers this. She studies you for a long moment. Her gaze is intense. She is weighing the risk. Finally, she nods to one of her technicians. Take the slate. See what's on it, she commands. Then she looks back at you. The pilot will be confined to quarters. If this is a trick, it will be your last. They lead you away from your ship, into the rocky heart of the rebel base. The outpost is a marvel of improvisation, a network of tunnels and caves carved from the asteroid. It is cramped and dimly lit, but it is alive with activity. People rush through the corridors. Technicians work at makeshift computer terminals. The rebellion is real. It is small and under-equipped, but it is here, and it is fighting back. They put you in a small, sparse room, a metal bunk and a single light. It is a cell, but after the day you have had, it almost feels safe. Hours pass, then the door to your room opens. Commander, Rostova stands there. Her expression is unreadable. Our techs are working on the slate. The encryption is Vexel military grade. It will take time, she says. In the meantime, you said you were a pilot. We have a problem you might be able to solve. She leads you back to the hangar bay. She points to a small, damaged Rebel scout ship. Its drive core is failing. We need to get it to a repair depot in the next asteroid cluster. But it cannot make the trip on its own. She turns to you. We need a tow. Our heavy tugs are out on other missions. She looks at the Stardust drifter. Can your ship do it? It is a test. A simple, practical test. She wants to see what you can do. My ship can haul rock and ore, you reply. Hauling another ship is just a matter of thrust and mass. I can do it. You see a flicker of something in her eyes. Maybe not trust, but a beginning. An acknowledgement of your skill. You spend the next few hours working. You and a team of rebel engineers rig a magnetic tether to your ship. You have to modify the power systems. Reroute energy from non-essential systems to the aft tractor beam emitter. It is complex work, but you know your ship. You guide them through it. You are no longer a prisoner. You are a colleague. You are using your old skills for a new purpose, a purpose that matters. The mission is a success. You tow the crippled scout ship through the asteroid field. Your flying is precise. You navigate the treacherous route without a single mistake. You deliver the ship safely to the hidden repair dock. When you return, the mood in the hangar has changed. The soldiers look at you differently, with a measure of respect. You are not just an outsider anymore. You are the pilot who can fly. You have made an unspoken promise with your actions, and they have started to believe in you. Commander Rostova meets you on the ramp. This time, she is alone. Our cryptographers broke the first layer of the slate, she says. Her voice is grim, heavier than before. What you brought us is a nightmare. She leads you to the command center, a large cavern filled with screens and busy people. On the main view screen is a document, a Vexal military directive. It is titled Project Aurora Purge. You read the words on the screen. Your blood turns to ice. It is not just a plan for increased control, it is a blueprint for genocide. A detailed, step-by-step process for eliminating the entire human population in the Aurora sector. The Vexals see the growing human colonies as a potential threat, a demographic impurity. Their solution is cold, logical, and absolute. They plan to use a new star-born weapon, a device that destabilizes a planet's core. The plan is to start with the outer colonies, the mining worlds, places like Cygnus X1, then move inward, system by system, until no human life remains. The data slate contains the activation codes, the timetables, the target list. The Vexal hegemony is not just a tyrant, it is a monster hiding in plain sight, ready to devour humanity. The silence in the command center is absolute. Everyone is staring at the screen, at the written proof of their own extinction. Panic gives way to grim determination. The rebels have been fighting a war of harassment, small raids, sabotage missions. But this changes everything. This is a fight for survival. Rostova gathers her senior officers. You are invited to attend. You are the one who brought them this terrible news. You have a right to be there. The meeting is tense. Their resources are limited. The rebel fleet is a handful of retrofitted freighters and a few stolen warships. The Vexal fleet is a legion. They cannot win a direct confrontation. Attacking the Vexal fleet would be suicide. But the data slate offers one sliver of hope. It contains the location of the Vexal Sector Command Station, a heavily fortified fortress called Aegis. All orders for the purge will originate from there. If they could somehow disrupt Aegis Station, they could delay the plan. They could buy time. Time to warn other human colonies. Time to prepare a real defense. But how do you attack a fortress? The answer comes from an unlikely source. A young tech officer points to your ship's profile on the screen. The Stardust Drifter, she says. Its transponder signature is for a civilian cargo hauler. It is flagged as destroyed at Cygnus X1. But the Vexal automated systems are slow to update. For a short time, it is a ghost. It doesn't officially exist. An idea begins to form. A desperate, impossible plan. A plan where your rusty old freighter is the key to everything. They want you to fly your ship to Aegis Station, not to attack it, but to get close enough to deliver a payload, a special kind of payload. You would be flying directly into the heart of the enemy's power. It is a suicide mission. Everyone knows it, but it is the only chance they have. You are the only pilot who can do this, Rostova says to you. She is not ordering you. She is asking. You look at the faces around the room, the fear, the hope, the defiance. You think of the old miner. You think of what is at stake. You have only one answer you can give. The next few days are a blur of activity. The Stardust Drifter is moved to a hidden workshop deep inside the asteroid. Rebel engineers swarm over your ship. They are not repairing it. They are transforming it. They reinforce the shields. They tune the engines for silent running. But the most important change is the new cargo. They load a strange device into your main hold. It is a large, spherical cage of wires and energy conduits. It hums with a low, discordant energy. They call it the Echo Cascade. It is not a bomb. It is an information weapon, a concept born from desperation. When activated, it will not explode. It will send out a powerful, chaotic burst of data. It is designed to overwhelm the Vexil battle network. It will create thousands of false sensor readings, ghost ships, phantom weapon signatures. It will make their highly ordered system descend into chaos. It will blind them. It will turn their greatest strength, their network, into their greatest weakness. You watch them install the device. It feels wrong. Your ship is made for hauling ore and machinery, not secrets and weapons of war. You talk with the engineers. You learn how the Echo Cascade works. There is a manual activation sequence. You will have to get close to the station's main communications relay. Plant the device, then transmit the activation code. The mission profile is terrifyingly simple. Fly in, drop the package, and try to get out alive. Your ship is now a bomb of a different kind. Its cargo is confusion. The day of the mission arrives. The hangar bay is quiet. The entire base seems to be holding its breath. Commander Rostova walks with you to your ship. The fleet is in position, she says. They will wait for your signal. The moment the Echo Cascade goes live, they will attack. She places a hand on your shoulder. What you do today will not be forgotten. Fly true. You nod. Words are not necessary. You climb the ramp into the Stardust Drifter. The cockpit feels different now. Heavier. You lift off. The hangar doors open to the star-dusted void. You are alone. The rebel fleet is hidden. The Vexil are unaware. It is just you and your dangerous cargo. You plot a course for Aegis Station. You engage the star drive. The short jump feels like an eternity. When you emerge, it is there, floating in the blackness, Aegis Station. It is a colossal structure, a city in space, a weapon of unimaginable power. Its hull is dark and menacing, bristling with weapon emplacements and sensor arrays. Your comm system chirps. It is an automated Vexil checkpoint. A synthesized voice requests your identification. This is the first test. You transmit your old, stolen transponder code. The one for a simple cargo hauler. A ship that should not exist. You hold your breath. For a long second, there is only silence. Then the Vexil voice returns. Transponder code accepted. Proceed on designated trajectory. Your heart is a drum against your ribs. The first bluff worked. You are inside their perimeter. You fly slowly, trying to look like a lost, dumb freighter. Every Vexil patrol that glides past your cockpit makes your skin crawl. You feel their cold, calculating gaze on your ship. You are a mouse walking into a serpent's den. You follow the flight path the rebels gave you. It takes you near a massive communications spire on the station's underside. That is your target, the primary network relay for the entire sector fleet. You have to get close enough to attach the Echo Cascade. You drift closer to the spire. You reduce your speed. Your ship's computer alerts you. Proximity warning. You are deviating from assigned course. A Vexil voice cuts in on the comm. Sharp, inquisitive. Freighter 734, report. Why have you altered your vector? Your mind races. You need an excuse. Control, this is 734, you say, trying to keep your voice calm. I have a minor fault in my port maneuvering thruster, just running a diagnostic. A terrible lie, but it's all you have. The Vexil controller is silent for a moment. It is probably checking your ship's public records. finding the profile of an old, poorly maintained freighter. Acknowledged, the voice says, laced with what sounds like digital contempt. Correct your course immediately after your diagnostic. You have bought yourself a few precious seconds. You open the cargo bay doors. You use the ship's manipulator arm, the one usually used for moving asteroids. You carefully attach the echo cascade to the surface of the communications spire. The magnetic clamps engage. The device is planted. Now for the final step. You open a secure channel. You transmit the 3-word activation code the rebels gave you. Let there be light. The words feel foolish, but they are the trigger. For a heartbeat, nothing happens. You think it has failed. Then, the echo cascade comes alive. It does not explode. It sings. A wave of pure data erupts from the sphere. It washes over Aegis Station, and all hell breaks loose. Alarms scream across every Vexel channel. The station's lights flicker and die. On your screen, you see the Vexel network collapsing into nonsense. Thousands of phantom ship signatures appear out of nowhere. The Aegis defense grid begins firing wildly, shooting at ghosts, at echoes. You did it. You blinded the giant. A new voice crackles in your ear. Human. Excited. Cascade is active. I repeat, the cascade is active. All wings launch the assault. Suddenly, the space around you is filled with ships. The small rebel fleet jumps in from hyperspace. They appear on the Vexel's doorstep while the enemy is blind and confused. Old freighters with cannons bolted to their hulls. Agile fighters built from scrap parts. They are hopelessly outmatched in a fair fight. But this is not a fair fight. This is a mugging. The rebels surge forward. Their weapons' fire lances out toward the bewildered Vexel ships. The battle for Aurora's edge has begun. You are caught in the middle of it. Your slow freighter is a liability in a dogfight. You are not a combat pilot. Vexel ships, firing at random, send energy bolts screaming past your cockpit. Rebel fighters zip past you, their engines roaring. Explosions bloom in the darkness like terrible flowers. Your job is done. You should run. But you cannot. You are part of this now. You watch as a Vexel cruiser gets a lock on a smaller rebel frigate. The frigate's shields are failing. It is a sitting duck. You do the only thing you can think of. You push your engines to the maximum. You fly the Stardust Drifter directly between the cruiser and the frigate. Your ship is a flying brick. But it is a big brick. The Vexel cruiser's volley of plasma torpedoes slams into your reinforced shields. The impact throws you against your restraints. Your shields drop to 10%. But you held. You took the hit. The frigate escapes into the chaos. You have just saved a ship full of people. This is humanity's clever fury on full display. The rebels are not fighting with brute force. They are fighting with ingenuity. They launch cargo containers filled with scrap metal, creating deadly, unpredictable flak clouds. Modified mining drones, packed with explosives, swarm the Vexel engines. They use tractor beams to throw asteroids at enemy hulls. They are turning simple tools into weapons of war. They are fighting with the grit and desperation of a people who have nothing left to lose. The Vexel are accustomed to predictable enemies. They are not prepared for this level of chaotic, unconventional warfare. Their command structure is in shambles because of your device. Their ships are fighting blind. They cannot tell friend from foe. The flagship of their fleet, a massive vessel named the Indomitable Will, tries to restore order. But it is swarmed by rebel ships. They focus all their fire on its bridge. A lucky torpedo strike hits home. A secondary explosion rips through the flagship's spine. It breaks in two, a shattered monument to Vexel arrogance. The sight of their broken flagship shatters the Vexil morale. The remaining ships, damaged and confused, begin to retreat. They jump to hyperspace one by one. Fleeing the battle they were so certain they would win. Silence falls over the battlefield. A silence filled with debris and the faint glow of burning metal. The rebels have won. Against all odds, they have won. A cheer erupts over the rebel comm channel. A wave of pure, unadulterated joy and relief. You drift in your battered ship. The Stardust drifter is barely holding together, but it is flying. You look out at the wreckage, at the beautiful, chaotic nebula behind it all. You won the battle. Commander Rostova's voice comes over your private channel. It is filled with a weary pride. You did it, pilot. You gave us a chance. You look at your hands on the controls. They are steady. You are not just a cargo pilot anymore. You are a rebel, a hero. But as the celebration fades, a sobering reality sets in. This was just one station, one fleet. The Vexil hegemony is vast. You have not defeated them. You have only made them angry. You have shown them that humanity is not a resource to be managed. It is a fire that will fight back. You have won the first battle. But in doing so, you have just started a new war. A war for the soul of the galaxy. And you are standing on the front line. The dawn is breaking over Aurora's edge. It is the dawn of a rebellion,